Did I make a mistake?
You don't want me here? I got it. I get it. I'll leave. I will just find a quiet corner of the ship. I think I'm gonna throw up.
Alright. Where do you throw up? Out of character.
I'm sure the helmet will take care of
Well,
that,
he's not thrown
but
up, but he's just said he thinks he's gonna throw up.
he thinks he's gonna throw up. Yes, but I'm sure they have indoctrination ports for that kind of thing too. Or I'm sorry, induction ports, not indoctrination ports. Induction ports. Induction ports.
Emergency induction.
Emergency.
process.
Yeah, that would definitely be an emergency.
Yes.
It's definitely be an emergency induction port.
Yeah, he's gonna like probably attempt to stumble back out the door, but probably hit the wall instead.
Crystal helps when at least to get to a point where he can sit down. Is there anywhere close?
The common area, probably.
Yeah, and all along the way, if Lun wants to hear her thought, she trying not to think about some of the things that she heard from Quinn, but you will hear part of the conversation that she had with Quinn.
So what
Yes,
was the part of
that
that what was the part that he reads from your mind?
I don't know how to do Quinn's voice, but I'll just say,
Yeah, just paraphrase it.
oh, I can actually read it since we had that conversation.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
So this is Quinn's voice. And it's
Okay.
like you hear like fading in from parts of the sentence. Reapers are currently invading from across the divide of both space and time. There is no keeping this secret. What we can do is fight, gather allies, get our people somewhere safe. And then mumble, I already have the bases mapped out. Fill in Charles and make sure everyone stays alive.
Please keep that asshole's voice out of my head.
I'm trying.
I'm sorry. Think puppies. Think puppies. That's fine.
And so then her mind switched over to like a schematic of Aya's armor, since that was what she was just
Okay.
working on. And like
Okay.
an
That works.
explodable view of the armor pieces, why she failed to improve it, and then she's trying to figure out a way to do it. That's all.
Yep.
Like Lun can see for
That is okay. That is what you will try to do. Roll me a willpower to see if you succeed in doing that. Roll me a willpower.
He succeeds so I can make this comment.
fail again.
Nope.
Oh.
So continue with the scene, Chen. Finish the scene actually. It goes really quickly, so you're not going to be able to interrupt it. Finish the scene.
So Crystal, conversation next is you ask us to trust you, but you won't even trust us. And then Quinn says back, I trust you. You think I want it to be this way? You think I don't want to tell my sister everything? We were making progress. I keep this a secret because isn't what I want. It is what I have to do.
Okay.
Sorry, who was the last one who the yelling? Was that Quinn or?
That was
Yeah.
Quinn.
So Crystal said, trust us.
After that plays out, then you will get the schematics of Aya's armor.
You showed Aquarian schematics? That's racist.
No. The armor of Aya's armor.
You think that's never mind. Just where's the sofa? I'm gonna bury my face in the pillow and just scream.
Do you want me to remove it from?
No, it's fine. Just needs a few days to handle it, and I guess everything at the moment is not going hunky dory. Ugh. I think I'd rather have Aya just talking about butts in my head all day.
Okay.
She leaves. She leaves Lun alone.
Because you guys decided to recruit, because you decided to recruit Steve Cortez into your crew, he is relatively able to easily go past the ship, the Reaper ship, undetected.
Darren offered to be his co-pilot during that time, anyways. So
He will gladly accept it. And while you guys are flying past, Steve Cortez will try to cut the tension a bit and ask. It's been a while, he says, since I've flown on the ship. Kind of takes me back. Actually, this isn't even the ship I was on. It was, well, sorry, he says. I didn't mean to bring that up again.
don't worry about it.
Everyone in your crew seems really cool.
Yeah, they're all right. They're good people.
He says, so people were I heard you guys, I overheard you guys talking about whether or not you were going to have your people stay in this vault or try to move them somewhere else.
Yeah, we're going to let people vote because it's not our place to make the decision for them. Honestly, I want to take them elsewhere because, like, even if we can survive here, to what ends? You know? Can't spend the rest of our life in a vault.
He says, I'm sure I would hate it. But you gotta do what you have to do to survive. The question, I guess, now is, what is that correct thing to do to survive? I don't envy your positions at all, he says, but I am going to do my very best to support you with whatever decision you guys make.
Like, what do you know about the various universes? Have you been filled in on that stuff, or
You're asking what he knows about the Purple Universe?
just the various universes?
He says, I don't really know very much beyond my own, to be quite honest. I was briefed that they existed, but I don't really know too much of the details beyond. Apparently, in one galaxy, Shepard decided to destroy the Reapers, and another one, he decided to control them. In another one, the elusive man is controlling them and calling the shots, which, between you and me, doesn't really sit well with me.
I personally think we should go to that universe. Obviously fix the situation with the elusive man, but we have contacts there. It's easier to build a life there than start from scratch, you know? At least we'll have help.
Yellow?
But
I think is what they call them.
yeah,
If you think that's the best, personally, I kind of like my galaxy. Call me partial though. Although I'm not really sure how it would work having a bunch of non-synthesized people in our galaxy all of a sudden.
Well, there's only like 100 of us, so that wouldn't make that much of a difference. But as I said, we don't really have anyone to help us there.
True. And you do in the yellow?
I think so, yeah. Our friend Rain. She said she'd help us, and I believe her.
Right. You guys will finally make it over to Alchera and take the same lift that you had taken to go off onto your adventure in the first place. The lift, Cortez will be able to activate the lift, and you guys will make your way down back into the vault without any of the Reapers seeing you. When you guys have made it to the bottom of the lift, Cortez will give the announcement that you guys have arrived. All right, everyone. We got here safe and sound. If you need help unloading the cargo, I'll be down there.
Um, Dan's gonna go talk to Tracy at some point.
In addition to all of the cargo that the main squad gave you guys, Rain and Tadashi, if you remember, made a run specifically to get you guys antibiotics, medicine, other food, and other supplies. Generators and all that good stuff. Trissy will be, I guess, the room that she's in right now has like windows, and when you enter into the room, she turns around and you see that there is a tray, an empty tray of food, by the bed, and she says, "You startled me."
Sorry about that. Did Otto fill you in on what happened?
He did. I feel like I've met him before. But yes. So this is something called a vault. This is where you guys are from?
For the past 3 years, yeah. It's not much,
Can't
but
even imagine what it's like.
it's pretty bad, but honestly, it's almost easy to forget that there were billions of Reapers out there. You just live your life as best you can. We watched Fleet Material like a million times. It was great.
She turns to you and says, "I never asked, but what happened to me in this universe?"
We've misplaced you, I suppose, is the best way to put it. That's why we picked you up. We thought you were here. I'm glad we did. Whatever was going on there, I'm glad you're out of it now, but we still need to find her.
So the other me was with you, and then something happened to her, and then you thought that I was her.
Basically. So, we'll call him a friend of ours. He has a gun, which allows you to travel between universes, galaxies, realities, whatever you want to call them. Unfortunately, that got stolen by, well, me, I guess, an alternate. He hit Trissy with it, and, well, I'm gonna find her.
He hit me with it. His own sister?
She didn't seem to know who you were. I don't know if he had you. Or at least he seemed confused when I said I had a sister. I don't know. I don't understand how a version of me could do that, but I guess it's not me. Admittedly, I don't think he meant to do whatever he did. I think he's just an idiot. I now understand how hard I am to deal with, by the way. Sorry about that.
She sort of smiles a crooked smile. I missed you, though.
Why, where was I? Oh, right. She said that Dan was dead, right?
Yeah.
Right.
She meant her Darren. She meant her Darren, but,
Yeah.
She misses you.
Well, I'm not him, And it's hard to think in those terms, but... Well, it's hard not to as well. It's a bit of a mess.
Somebody was trying to tell me that, believe it or not, in another galaxy, I was his wife. How about that?
Someone actually married you? I'll smile.
She, as soon as you say that, she like gives you a slap, but not like a whack, but she gives you like a slap on the cheek that your other Trissy normally gives you, especially back when you were younger.
Yeah. I'll have to give him my condolences.
I admit, though, she says, I kind of reacted kind of badly. I think I couldn't deal with it at the time. I was confused, I was scared, and I probably he was really upset. Let me just put it that way. I mean I was too. We were both upset. It wasn't a very pleasant situation. It was extremely awkward, more than awkward.
Trust me, I would have handled it worse. Past few days have just been me messing things up constantly.
Did somebody tell you that they were your wife, or that they were your spouse?
That's not happened yet, but I wouldn't be surprised. Um, did I take tips in your universe or no?
Tibbs. That name does sound familiar.
Um,
Maybe.
I guess we weren't as close. I don't know. In my universe, he died, and then in another universe, he was alive. And that's not the easiest thing to deal with, to say the least. I imagine.
I understand.
Yeah, I was gonna say. It's kind of hard to grieve for someone and then suddenly they're back again, and it's almost like it'd be easier just to let things go back to normal, but
Normal, yeah. Tell me about it. Normal. Not that I'm unhappy that you're alive. It's just, well, you know.
I'm not Darren, and you're not Tracy. We're just versions of them. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
confusing for me, to be honest. I liked it when things were simple.
Yeah. Ever since Anar told me what was going on, things have been anything but simple.
Who is Anna to you, by the way? You've mentioned him, but is he a friend of yours?
Anar is we're boyfriend and girlfriend. He's a great man, Hanar. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
We didn't necessarily leave on the best of terms the last I saw him.
So
I was kind of hoping to make amends.
yeah, we'll just have to get you back to him then. We need to wait here in Purple Universe for at least 24 hours, and as much as I want to go after, well, alternate you, we do have a mission here as well. Like, you're fine. We'll find you when we find you.
So tell me, she asks, trying to lighten the mood. Am I anything like your Trissy?
Hard to tell. You haven't... Oh, God.
You have a feeling that this Trissy is a little bit more subdued.
Mm.
She's not as fiery and feisty as your Trissy. She's more sweet.
Yeah.
Not that Trissy isn't sweet, but she's definitely a lot more sweet and polite than the other Trissy.
Yeah. Well, you haven't insulted me yet, so that's always a change.
What else is happening on the ship as you guys are people unloading cargo? What are people doing? Yeah, that Trissy hasn't been corrupted by Aya yet. I think while you guys are making yourself useful around the ship, Charles will come in with a few of the other workers. He will approach the ship, and I guess somebody's going to meet him, I'm assuming.
Charlie, my good friend.
Aya, he all of a sudden he has a very bright expression on his face. You guys have come back safely, it looks like.
For a while, we have stuff, power generators, medicine, food, enough that we can live.
Thank goodness, he says.
But
You guys have definitely become our heroes.
oh, you know, I all in a day's work.
Any sign of the Alpha Squad?
Yes. We have
Really?
Niha with us. The thing is, stuff's come up we can't stay.
Really? How so? Do you need to talk to us? Do we need to talk privately?
It'll probably be for the best. Why don't you come aboard? We'll have a squad meeting.
He nods at the two other workers next to him and tells them to start helping to unload the cargo. The workers, as soon as they begin helping, they say, they say, "Is this a fish hatchery?" "I'm impressed," the other one says. "We've got enough food and medicine here that should last us for at least another, well, the packaged food should last for another 6 months, but the fish should help us keep us going almost indefinitely."
Yeah, as long as you don't kill them off before you've even started.
One of the workers muttered, "Antibiotics. Would have been great if we had this earlier."
Did something happen?
Charles sort of says, "Well, we lost a few people."
Anyone in particular?
There was a infection going around. We went through a lot of the medicine that was in our stores, but we ended up unfortunately running out and couldn't treat some of the last people who were hit.
Hmm.
Voto, who was aiding the Quarians, did not wish to be given any medication because she wanted to make sure that the others had, she could save the others first. And she passed away this morning.
It's... We're going to... Lun will not like this.
"It's all right," he says. "You guys came when you did. I mean, I think Voto held on for as long as she could. If you had arrived yesterday, then maybe we would have been able to save her, but there's no way that you guys would have known."
Well, at least now Darren has no right to be mad at Lun anymore. Fuck. Shit. Well,
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news when you guys are here giving us the best of news.
yeah, well, we aren't exactly at a sunny disposition either. Let's call this squad meeting.
Should
Sir.
I be the one to break the news to Lun, or would you like to? He asks Aya.
I'll do that.
We'll save it for after the meeting then. And he will enter the ship.
And I will go to the comm system and call for a squad meeting.
Okay. Everybody will in the common area unless somebody wants to do something before the meeting is.
May I have your permission to conduct a sweep of the boat's hangar?
Can it wait till after our briefing meeting?
I'm afraid not.
How long will it take, Chen?
I can conduct a search on my own. You all can have your meeting.
Aya, he turns to. It's your call.
Yeah, I'll fill you in afterwards, Chen. No worries. Do your thing.
He says, "Do what you must." May I ask, though, what specifically you are going to be scanning for?
I cannot say in public, but I will talk to you in private after the
Can
meeting.
you talk to me in private now on the ship?
If it will only take 5 minutes, then yes.
Very well. Follow me. He will take you over to a private room on the ship. All right, Crystal Chen. He says, "All right, Chen, what do you have to report? What is the scanning of the hangar for?"
So when we met with Quinn on our travels, He had told me that he had discovered Reaper technology from the vault.
Really? He never mentioned that.
He had no time because it was a day before being sent on the resource run.
That's very disheartening. If there was Reaper tech within the walls of the vault, we were at great risk of the Reapers finding out where we were.
Yes, that is why I would like to try to find any threat here. From my understanding,
That makes perfect sense, Chen. You always were the reasonable one. I trust that you were able to keep everybody in check while you were up there. That's why part of the reason why we assigned you with this group, not necessarily to just be their doctor, but be the voice of reason.
I tried my best.
Let me ask you something then, Chen. How was Aya's leadership? How would you evaluate her, just out of curiosity? Please be frank. How will Chen respond to that question?
That
She's
doesn't bode
improving.
well.
She's improving.
She's improving. Could you please explain? I wish to know, because that will determine how things go from missions moving forward.
May I be excused? This is
No,
really
you
important.
can't. All I need, Chen, is a few sentences, 30-second explanation. While it's still fresh on your mind, please.
I believe she has some past history that's catching up to her. But we are able to keep her in check.
Do you think you would do a better job leading?
No,
Why not?
I'm far from freed of my past myself.
I see. So who would you think would be a better leader? I'm asking you because I value your opinion, Chen. I hope you understand that.
Out of character, you're not suggesting an NPC, are you? I mean, if I say an NPC, would that be okay?
You can say whatever makes sense. I'm not, doesn't matter if it's a PC, NPC. What would Chen say?
I would still recommend Aya in charge, or Niha. They have the most experience in leading.
They were the ones that I placed in charge in the first place. I hope you're not just saying that just to make me feel good.
I have high hopes for Lun, but right now, he is a liability.
Why is Lun a liability?
You will find out soon.
See. You're excused, Chen. Do what you need to do.
Thank you, sir.
But please, if you can, if you finish early, please join us in our briefing.
I will.
And he dismisses you. Meanwhile, everybody is gathering for the meeting. So all of the PCs, plus Cortez, plus Otto. Trissy, yes or no?
No.
Up to Trisby
Probably-
if she turns up or not.
Yeah, I guess give her the option, but probably suggest she's not there.
Trissy will. Are you encouraging her to not come?
I think the thing is that she'd probably go through Darren, and Darren wouldn't say no to her being there. So unless one of the others were like, "Hey, you should leave."
Well, I would probably be like, well, considering all things considered, you are not Trissy. In a certain degree, it doesn't really concern her.
So you're encouraging her to just stay in her room.
I'm encouraging her to not wander off and not try not to Like she can be there if she really wants to, but I think she should consider her position, like whether or not she wants to interact with us too much, considering that we're not really anyone important to her.
Trissy will respond by saying, the last time all of this multi-galaxy thing was brought up to me, I opted to ignore it. I opted to leave and not deal with it. And that didn't... that ended up not being the best choice for me. But if you do not wish for me to be there, I understand.
Well, it's not that I don't wish you to be there, it's just you're still recovering from quite a shock.
That's true.
And putting all of our troubles on top of that, well, you are kind of relevant to everything. We still have to find you. Well, not you, but
She asks, may I at least see the vault?
sure. We'll when we've had the meeting, we'll take you on a tour.
I would like that.
Good.
Does Darren say anything?
Am I there or not?
I don't know. Are you?
I presume so.
Question mark.
I would
Okay.
presume so too.
The thing is, Jesse's, well, going to be with us for a little bit at least. It is
Yeah.
relevant too here. We're going to be
Like-
facing your life on the line, and
Yeah.
being with us is a risk. If you don't know what the risk is.
I guess she wants to sit in. She can sit in. If she doesn't, she doesn't have to.
She will turn to Darren and she will ask, what do you... She says, I will do whatever it is you want me to do.
I don't know, do what feels right for you, because, as I said, it's relevant to you, but if you'd rather keep distant from it, that's your choice. I'm not going to make it for you.
Well, considering how I'm going to be traveling with you guys in the meantime, I feel like I'd like to at least sit in and find out what's going on. Because I think I've been kept in the dark for too long. And she says, and I think that it wouldn't hurt for me to be a little bit informed.
You'll have information we don't have anyway. You'll see what I mean around.
All right. Everybody then is going to be in the cockpit. Lun, for the time being, you seem to be able to keep your mind reading in check. Although if people start having very intense thoughts, you might start hearing them. But for the time being, it's quiet.
Glun will have to talk once the meeting is done.
Charles will, before the meeting begins, he says, I wanted to let you all know that on behalf of everyone in the vault, thank you. I don't know if anyone has said that to you yet, but thank you for risking your lives. Thank you for putting yourselves out there to save those who could not do it for themselves. I wish I was able to come with you, but
Someone
it
has
sounds
to risk everything and anything for the sake of the greater good, so why not us?
It's all in good spirit, right?
At any rate, based on the supplies that you guys brought back, I would like to, again, express my gratitude, and I just wanted to say that I'm very proud at your success. Regardless of whatever you have to report now, I just wanted you to know that. Aya, if you want, you can give your report first, or I can give you mine on the status of the vault. What would you prefer?
Give us the status on the vaults, please.
We have been rationing the food that we had left for as long as we could. If you guys did not come back when you did, we probably would have lasted for another half of a month or so before starvation started to hit. The morale has been very low. I will not lie. We've been trying to do what we can. I think the burning party, though, helped a lot. We had some of the citizens had a bonfire that may or may not have involved a movie or two.
Wait. We're gone for like 5 days and you've been fleet and flotilla. What?
Aaron,
I had nothing to do with it. I had absolutely nothing to do with it.
This
But
just the worst.
that movie needed to be destroyed and never seen again.
it helped bring up people's spirits up, at least temporarily.
Well, good news is we bought some more movies.
Yeah, but we didn't buy a fleet and flotilla.
That is the best news I've heard. I know the people will love that. I'm afraid, however, that there has been that I don't have completely good news to give you, in the sense that there has been a wave of infection that has gone through some of the people here while you were out, and we were running out of medication and antibiotics. But I'll get into the details of that after the fact. Just know that we tried our very best for the people that were here that we could. That's all I have to report.
Yeah. We, on the other hand, have gone through shit and back again. Are you familiar with the theory of multiple universes?
Maybe he says, I've read about such things in books. Back in college, maybe. Did he actually go to college? Back in high school, maybe.
Yeah.
Out of character, I would assume he did go to college, by the way.
Okay, he probably did back in college. Maybe he's read a few books.
Quinn kind of may have found a thing that ripped a hole through space and time, and we got tossed into a different universe where the Reapers lost.
You what? Charles says in disbelief.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's hard to explain, although actually I did a pretty good job of it. It's
mean-
multiple realities, and we managed to visit some of them.
We have Cortez, if that's enough proof.
Well,
Yeah.
And Morden.
Meet Steve Cortez, shuttle pilot of the Normandy, and the great butt toucher of Shepard.
Charles turns towards Cortez and he says, I was wondering who this person was.
And meet Dr. Morton Solus, the prime physicist and probably most intelligent being alive.
I just wish I could be more useful, Morden says. Morden Solus and Stephen Cortez. I never would have thought I would see them right before me.
Yeah.
It's an honor, he says. He goes over to Cortez and he shakes his hand, and also to Morden. All right, he says, I guess that's enough proof. So, you guys won against the Reaper. Oh, against the Reapers. Cortez says, I was there. So that means maybe we just have to find out how they won, and maybe we can defeat the Reapers here, Charles says.
Maybe.
we might not have to. Thing is, we can go to other realities. We don't have to stay here anymore. It's a thing we sort of need to decide, and we want to involve the Vault in that because we can't make the choice for them. We know of 5 universes, including this one. So we don't have to stay here. We could go elsewhere and try and build a new life for ourselves.
He says, I don't know if there's very much of a life that we can have here with the Reapers. where they are.
All things considered.
The idea of going to another galaxy, however, where they, one, could give us a fresh start, but then there's the risk of us getting caught as we're jumping from one universe to another, or attempting to move all these people.
And
There's also-
there's
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
there's also the minor problem of doubles. We've had a bit of a run-in with some of them.
Charles turns to Cortez and says, "What is the conditions like out there? Are the Reapers still active? And if so, how active?" Cortez says, "We saw a scout ship around, so they still are about. I can almost guarantee that the Normandy itself should be able to get us back to Engana so that we can transport. But we're not going to be able to fit. If we have as many people in the vault as you say you do, I don't think all of us can fit on the ship. We will need another ship."
Maybe if we had the SR2 instead of the SR1, we could have fit them, but this ship is vastly smaller than the other, considering at least when
Well-
they were parked right beside each other.
Cortez says, "I can acquire another ship. That's not a problem. The problem is that ship's stealth drives are not nearly as good as the SR1. So it'll be a bit of a risk."
I would say either that or maybe we could just make several trips with the SR1.
That's still
That's
going to
true.
be risky, and remember, it's 24-hour wait time between
Yeah.
each jump.
I
Either
think-
way, we would need to have an evacuation plan. It would need to be practiced to the point where nothing can go wrong. If we get a fleet of ships, or we do it with several trips with the Normandy, it needs to be down to a T.
And the thing is, we need to check that it's what people actually want. We've gathered some information about the various universes, and in some of them we have people who can help us, but if people would rather not take the risk and stay here, it's not our choice to make the decision for them. I think we need to have a vote or something, but it's not our place to risk other people's lives.
Is there anything else that the group has to report?
So, at a character, I assume someone's like written up all information we've gathered about the various universes and things.
Yeah.
Give that to Charles.
Probably. He's looking. He'll probably read through the report. Do you have information on all 5 of the galaxies?
We asked
We
Rain and she
just-
told us.
we-
basically
Oh,
what
she
knew.
gave you reports of each one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Made sure to ask you about that.
Looks like Shepard was able to stop the Reapers in more ways than one.
Yeah.
So we just lucked out.
Indeed, we got the longest straw here.
We don't know that these are the only universes.
Which one do you recommend? I mean, this is not like buying a car.
Yellow universe is pretty terrible, but it's fixable, and Rain can help us. I assume Rain's mentioned in the report somewhere.
Yes, the one that's controlled by the elusive man.
Like, if we can remove him, then I think we have a chance of building a life there, but
But if you remove him, then what happens to the Reapers he was controlling?
that's the issue. Rain has a plan, but
Who's this Rain you keep talking about?
a friend. Met her during our travels.
If you've ever listened to the radio a bit, like all the newest stuff, you might have heard her once or twice.
Fair enough.
She used to work with an alternate version of me and Tips, so I think she's legit. But outside of that, the Green Universe seems like a solid choice. We wouldn't be synthesized, but outside of that, it seems a pretty
Red looks pretty good too. The Reapers are completely destroyed altogether.
Red's possibly the safest.
The complication is, even if we were to hypothetically vote on leaving, Do you know how divided everyone's going to be about all these different choices of the galaxy? I don't even know if it's right to even give them that choice.
The question is rather like, then we decide which galaxy, they just decide.
Whether we leave or stay.
Yeah.
All right then.
I don't know. I feel like they should be allowed to voice their opinions because
Yeah,
Why?
because, the other universe seems pretty cushy for some people, not others.
Well, obviously we're not taking them to yellow, but
I still think we'd have more support there than other universes, but I can understand.
maybe,
where you're
but
coming from.
if nothing else, we shouldn't move. If we're going to move them to yellow or anywhere, maybe we shouldn't do that until we're certain that everything over there is taken care of.
Fair point.
Like if we're going to move them to yellow, where we have a foothold and support, at least I would want them. I would want to have good old Timothy removed first, and that
Yeah.
taken care of.
Before we make the move, you mean?
Yes, before we risk everyone and everything.
But if we were to move to the other galaxies, we wouldn't have to take that step.
No,
Yeah.
but it'd be harder to settle in because we wouldn't have the resources available.
We wouldn't
So,
have.
It's better than being here.
Yeah.
All right. Then I guess we'll have a town meeting
Hmm.
and find out what people think.
You're from New Universe, aren't you, Tracy? Or do you not know? Sorry,
I don't think Trissy ever was informed of what her galaxy was.
I thought hers was red.
Yeah.
Hers is red.
yes, out of character, she's from Red. We picked her up from Blue,
But-
though.
You picked her up from Blue.
So as far as I'm concerned, that's where she's from.
She says, you mean, are you talking about where you rescued me?
Yeah, that's where you're from, right?
That's not where I'm from.
Well,
All right.
That everyone kept telling me that I was
dead.
married.
That complicates things.
Wait, how did you go from one universe to the other then? It means there's another device out there somewhere, bar from the other two that we know about?
Did you travel with NR to another?
No, she says, this whole mess started a couple days after Anar had left. I was reporting to work at the Citadel. I work at the arena, and was getting ready for the next show, and then all of a sudden there was this big flash of blue light, and I ended up in a place where people didn't seem to know who I was, and then Dane ended up coming from nowhere and captured me, and the rest was, well, you know the rest of the story.
So you fell through a portal.
Maybe
So hopefully
When-
it's...
our Trissy was hit. It resonated across all the Trissys.
Maybe.
Morden's like, even though your Trissy was in Earth and she was on the Citadel?
Yeah, because it hit Trissy, not just the galaxy. So it opened a rift.
On all of them.
Yeah.
And if that was the case, then where's your Trissy?
There's a lot going on. Do you think these portals are having a side effect?
Maybe.
We've been doing a lot of jumping around, and it sounds like your friend Quinn has been a little gun happy, Morden says. Who knows what that's going to be doing to the galaxy?
Oh.
My worry is they say that what they're doing is meant to save the galaxy, but
It seems more like they're trying to destroy it.
inadvertently, not really sure what they have much of a choice though if they're trying to get rid of the Reapers here.
What was Chen saying about indoctrination before?
The device is Reaper tech.
Well, Quinn Quinn spent most time with the device. That's why we decided not to give it back to him. What
But
if...
that doesn't mean that it didn't indoctrinate him during the 3 years we were down here.
So what you're saying, Morden says, is that maybe it's
Maybe Quinn was working to open up all these portals to allow the Reapers here to gain access over there.
I mean, he told us not to trust Rain, and Rain's trying to fix this.
Yeah.
What if he's... I don't know. This is a bit of a mess, isn't it, really?
He's up to something.
Niha says, and I have a feeling he doesn't realize it. That's the problem. If my brother really is indoctrinated, that makes a lot of sense.
Considering...
Especially since he thinks what he's doing is for the good of the galaxy. Isn't that what indoctrination does? Tries to give you a reasonable reason to do what you're supposed
My
to be
uncle
doing.
told me about these things. What it's basically doing is it's feeding you a vision where you think that you're helping, that you're doing the greater good when actually you're helping the Reapers. You might think that you're fighting against them, but inadvertently,
So he's doing this without even knowing.
yeah.
Which means we've got an even bigger problem than we thought.
But that's
Does
just
this mean we have to stop him now?
Well,
me, though. He could be fine.
We
He could
can't
be.
gamble that though.
Yeah, I know.
we need to find a way to make sure first. But I don't know how.
It sounds like whatever we do, we need to do it very quickly. Either we stop the Reapers, we don't stop the Reapers. But we have to stop all this jumping as soon as we can. If we're going to bring our people over to another galaxy...
You gotta do it in one.
Yes, which is more risky. She sighs.
So we're gonna need help. Rain said her people might be able to help.
She said her family might be able to as well.
Rain has an SR2. Well, the Alphas are riding around in that because their ship crashed on the other planet. But maybe we could, just put them on a mission somewhere, and then use their ship for a little while.
I mean, we have 2 pilots now.
Yeah. And I mean, it would be kind of neat to see who's the better pilot. The infamous Steve Cortez or our very own Super Darren.
I feel like we need more than just transport ships now. We're gonna need something to help, if worst comes to the worst, fight off the Reapers.
Thing is, the less people we have, the less likely we are going to draw attention to ourselves.
Yeah.
We're
If we
basically
open a
gonna
fleet, they're gonna
need
notice us.
we're basically gonna need some transport ships and maybe some smaller ships just in case.
That also means we need to find more pilots that we can trust.
Well, who's flying the Alpha's ship?
Joker?
He's a pretty good pilot.
The best. No offense, but that's...
So he wants to believe, at least. We
I
could
guess-
probably trust him.
And what about Rain's other team? The ones who supplied us with all this stuff?
I don't know. We'd have to talk to Rain, but then we'd have to find her first, and God knows where
Well,
she is.
we organised a link through with Tibbs, didn't we?
Yeah, Rain also gave us the coordinates for a big dark building where we'd be able to find her people.
I feel like we need to go speak to them, don't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
See what Rain's got cooking up. At least the vault's got enough food and medicine to last them for a while now. Which means
So-
our time limit with our time restrictions with this isn't as dire anymore.
Yeah.
So
All
we-
things considered, we could leave tomorrow once the collider has cooled down. And then all the while we find them, Charles, you can have the little village meeting, and if you decide to leave, you can start preparing the
Evacuation plans.
yes.
Maybe we should wait for a decision to become to first. Like, if people decide they don't want to leave, then we don't need to do any of this.
But we
True.
do need to fix up the portals
Yeah.
and
We
find
find-
out what's going on, but especially with Quinn.
And we need to find Trissy, but there's no point in turning up with an armada if it's not going to be needed.
True.
So we wait for the results of the vote, and even if we don't know where we're going, we'll know if the extra ships are needed. And then we'll go and try and fix things. With Quinn and Trissy and whatever else we need to do.
Sounds like a plan, Charles says. Okay. If nobody has anything else to say, the meeting will adjourn. Crystal, while you're doing your scanning, I will say that you will not find any more Reaper tech in the hangar. Charles will talk to Aya and says, so do you want to break the news to Lun now?
Yeah. Lun, we
What?
need to speak privately.
Privately, okay. Is now really the time?
There is not really any time. It's about Voto.
What about her?
Before Aya has a chance to say anything, Lun, you're able to get a scene in his head, and it looks like you get visions of the Quarians who have been dying off because of this infection, and again, Voto, you see, has been trying to aid as many people as she can, but she's coughing as well and not feeling very
I
good.
wouldn't know this.
Charles does, though.
Oh.
Isn't Charles in the room?
I presume that everyone's in the room, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, people were left, but I think Charles and Aya... I think Charles stayed behind, and he just is letting Aya do the talking. But you're sensing from Charles all of these scenes, and then you finally see a scene where Voto is essentially, like, on her deathbed, and she's lying down on... she's lying down on the bed, and Charles is sort of next to her holding her hand. And Voto is saying, I did the best I could. And Charles says, you did far more beyond the call of duty to save our people. And you didn't have to do what you did. Voto says, if you see Lun again, because you will see Lun again, please tell him, 1, it's not his fault. 2, I love him very much. And 3, I am very proud of him. She starts to cough. And that is the end of the visions that Lun sees from Charles's head.
She's gone, Lun. Sorry.
When?
This morning, Charles says. Approximately 5:03 a.m. Just a few hours before you arrived.
If we hadn't gone for Trissy, we could have saved her. I'm so sorry, it's all my fault.
Why did you not force her to take the medicine, Charles?
I tried to. I told her that if we lost her, then we would lose... I told her that if we lost her, then we would have lost pretty much our entire medical staff. And she said she understood the logic in that, but she could not save herself if she could have saved one more patient.
So, we were delayed, chasing down the wrong fucking Trissy, and that is my family gone.
Charles kind of swallows, and he doesn't seem like he has much to say, but you sense in his head that he definitely feels very upset and feels very sorry about the whole situation, but he doesn't verbally say anything.
I need air.
Lun leaves, and Lucas follows after with a very concerned look on his face. Charles looks towards Aya,
Well,
and
it went pretty much how I expected it would.
you're a good leader, Aya. Don't doubt yourself. He says, your own crew members have been vouching for you.
That's something at least.
We're at a point in our operation right now where we can't doubt ourselves. I've learned not to.
Yeah. We can't afford second thoughts anymore.
Sometimes you have to make a call.
Yeah.
And
Sometimes it's not necessarily the right call, but if we hadn't gone to save this Trissy, she would have been horribly murdered and tortured by someone unspeakable, so
we live in a world where you can't always have it both ways. I
exactly.
learned that very quickly.
Life's a bitch, and then you die.
He places a hand on your shoulder. But you've been stubborn about it, as he motions towards your arm.
Sometimes you have to give up some parts to ensure that your dreams come true.
Yeah, I know. We still have Voto, by the way. We haven't gone through the funeral arrangements yet, since it only happened this morning, but
I think Lun would want to be present.
I'm sure. We'll have the services after the town meeting.
Yeah.
Keep up the good work, Aya.
Just doing my best.
That's all we ask. That's all anyone can ask. Voto certainly did.
Yeah.
And then he leaves.